You've all seen this symbol before, but it holds a lot more meaning than you may realize. Let's begin.
We call it Tai Chi Tu, made of yin part and yang part. So you can call it a yin yang picture. Now it towards sunset. Now the sun is setting. This is the time from the daytime go to nighttime. So eventually yang become yin. Yin become yang, yang become yin, yin become yang, yang become yin. Always, in every day, each day, that happens. So this shows the coexistence of two opposites. No matter how different they are, they can stay very peacefully.
So now you know the basics, let's explore a little bit deeper about the wisdom behind the Yin Yang. The Yin Yang depicts two opposing forces, but this shouldn't be confused with the ideas of conflict. It's very common in Western culture to think about good versus evil, life versus death, and light versus dark. This language creates the idea that we should cultivate the light and destroy the dark. But to a Taoist, this sort of thinking is as incomprehensible as having a magnet without both the north and south poles. They are part of the same system, so removing one is as good as removing the whole system. Let's put it like this, a population of only men on an island doesn't last very long. It's the interaction of opposites through which life is created. So that's the first lesson from the Yin Yang, that the world is full of and literally made of differences. It reminds us that opposites can live in harmony, that I can live my own life my way, and others can live their lives their way.
A Taoist has never started a war. Why? Because Taoism accepts that people can have different lives, have different religions and different cultures. So this is the natural law. So why people should kill each other?
It also reminds us to sometimes embrace those things that we see as different or damaging to us. For example, in a relationship, your partner may do bizarre things that grind your gears. But through being compassionate to difference, you understand that you thinking your partner was perfect was due to you watching too many rom-coms. You understand that these differences are natural, and therefore by being open, you'll allow some of their characteristics to grow inside you to complement your own, making you a more well-balanced person. Like the growth in our own relationships, the Yin Yang doesn't simply refer to the static existence of opposites. Instead, it tells a dynamic story, that of growth and decay, and the ultimately cyclical nature of the universe.
Nature does not complain about the winter. As there is a saying, since winter is already here, is the spring far from us? Nature does not complain about hot summer either. Change is always one part of the natural law.
This is because everything has both yin and yang aspects.
There's always a bit of yin in yang and yang in yin. Without light, there's no shadow. A day has the seed of night. Nearness, although damaging, can make people look after their health. So you can see this in everything.
As a result, as one quality reaches its peak, it naturally begins to transform into the other, creating an endless cycle. This can be seen throughout nature as crops reach their full height in summer. And then it dies back in the winter, like it is here now. But the seeds live on, ready to bring new life in the spring. Like nature, the Yin Yang tells us that our own lives are cyclical. Fortune, misfortune, life and death comes and goes without beginning or end. Accepting that life works in cycles naturally makes you more optimistic. For example, when the Japanese invaders took hold of Beijing in 1936, a Japanese artist found the Chinese people to be rather indifferent to the invasion, with faintly amused expressions which seemed to say, "We've seen the likes of you many times before, and you too will go away." A sense of optimism is deeply embedded in Chinese culture. The Yin Yang tells us that change is truly natural and to trust the world and all the changes it throws at us. It tells us that our problems too will one day pass. If we trust the process and embrace change rather than trying to resist it, we no longer need to be anxious about what's to come or try and cling on to what we have, because we know that things will be okay. The Yin Yang shows the world is made up of opposing forces in constant flux, and thus that we should accept differences and changes in our lives. If we do this, rather than fighting pointless battles, trying to eradicate our weaknesses or problems, fighting against the current, instead we'll let the water take us and float down the river with our heads above the water. Nature, by living in harmony with the world's currents in this way, is always balanced. And because we come from nature, we too can find balance in our lives. Now we're going to explore how to find balance in more detail in future videos, but I want to finish this one with something that I really found helpful.
In standing meditation, most of the time we use the posture this way. So two hands. This we call tiger mouse. Tiger mouse. The two tiger mouse like coming together. So this makes harmonious, very harmonious. The yin and the yang coming together, so that means harmony, peace are coming together.
I think it's so nice that you can make your own little yin yang wherever you go. So the next time you're feeling anxious or stressed, look down and be reminded that all the things we've talked about today, that the world is okay, that you're okay, that change is okay, and the power to find balance is within you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Sorry I'm a bit late with this. This week's question is, how do you think you can apply the yin yang to your own life? And what do you think about it as a concept? Let me know in the comments, and we've also got a discussion on Reddit as well, so the link is in the description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, here is another yin and yang. George from the west, while I'm from the east. He's from the western tip of the Eurasia. I'm from a country named the Middle Kingdom from the east. But now we are together. We share very much, we share the same dream to promote the Taoist culture, and in other words, to promote peace and harmony worldwide. Right, Judge?
That's right. I hope to, at least. I'll do my best.